Harken back to the days of one-color monitors and the oldest school point-and-click adventure-style games like Oregon Trail and Carmen Sandiego, but with disturbing Eldritch and Japanese Thriller elements, you can see how you fare in the world of horror. Yep, it's another instance of I was watching an Alpha Beta Gamer video, and barely a few minutes into that video I was seeking out the demo, only to find out it had recently entered early access on Steam that day. Since it is an early access title, this will be another preview video instead of a quick review, and when we see a full release, I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about for a full review. Graphics purposefully designed in MS Paint, the artwork still pulls off a horror aesthetic while looking appropriately primitive. The influence of Junji Ito is beyond obvious, with the 1980s Japan setting, Lovecraftian influence, and blatant references to Uzumaki and Enigma of Amigara Fault. All of this brought to you in glorious 1-bit black and white graphics. Well, 1 or 2-bit, and your choice of monochrome. You can even choose to randomize this color layout at the start of a new playthrough, or burn the old school green into your retinas with this Apple IIe inspired setting, like playing the Oregon Trail to hell. Even with a minimalist style, the game can easily get disturbing, with injuries becoming visible on your character, plenty of gory visuals and disturbing creatures, and oddly effective jump scares, though the game won't rely on the latter for cheap thrills. Music is also period appropriate, which along with the sound effects can be tinny and garbled, yet still using that limited set of sound channels to create some very atmospheric and appropriately eerie sounds and tunes. Elements of roguelike and adventure games abound. World of Horror tasks you to choose one of a set of characters and face off against an eldritch god. In doing so, you'll have to play through a set of 5 random short stories in the form of investigations. Most have multiple endings and each grant you a key to the lighthouse at the end, with the occasional investigation granting an item that'll be useful in other investigations. Once you have all these investigations done, and your board has been properly Pepe Sylvia'd, you can enter the lighthouse to stop the old god's rebirth if it's not too late. A note about quality of life improvements that are going on currently, the game recently patched it in that keys are now on a separate UI element and won't clog up your inventory. It won't be easy to enter this lighthouse though, even on easy mode, because this game is not kind to you. Many of the events are down to a dice roll, and when luck isn't on your side, you can easily lose the entire game one of several ways before you've even gotten a chance to see more than a few stories. 3 stats to keep an eye on are Stamina, Reason, and Doom. Stamina being your health, Reason being your sanity, and Doom being the time before the old god arrives. If you deplete Stamina or Reason fully, or have Doom reach or surpass 100%, you're dead and you'll have to start all over again. In addition to the random events from investigations, there are a few scripted and non-scripted combat encounters, where you'll have to choose between a lot of attack, defense, and support options to face down your foes. Each encounter tasks you with setting up as many actions as possible, taking account of your chance to hit and the type of damage you'll be dealt each turn. This is the section that I believe needs the most tweaking in the game, as some encounters can be made laughably easy by certain weapons or builds, and others seem so completely unfair that they will tank your stats and render you helpless for the rest of the run. Characters each have their own set of stats and advantages in investigations and combat, as well as character-specific traits that can vastly change how you handle encounters. I found the Yakuza guy to be borderline useless, while the Idol Girl's Fame perk is so hilariously game-breaking that it renders combat encounters completely trivial if you have a good weapon in tow. The final encounter isn't really anything, and that renders the ending feeling somewhat anticlimactic. But talks of adding to the final challenges does have me excited to see what might come down the pipe in the future. While there's a respectable amount of investigations for now, you'll very quickly run through the majority of them with dedicated playthroughs. While many of them will follow very similar playstyles, there are a few that change up the gameplay in slight minor ways that can make them more exciting and interesting to play, and trying to figure out how to unlock all the endings of each one is where a lot of the replayability lies. The developer promises at least 20 total missions, and while I'm hoping for even more than that, the option for mod support does intrigue me and has me wondering what kind of nightmares the community could unleash, as support for this game has really taken off since its early access launch. I can easily recommend that fans of Junji Ito's work, eldritch horror, or generally disturbing fiction give this game a look, though check out a few playthroughs before you decide if you want to join in on the early access train. Chances are, like me, that you will know very quickly if you want to play for yourself, and if you're on the fence, you can easily find a free demo on the developer's site. Here's hoping for more stories, tighter combat encounters, and a generally imaginative mod community, and World of Horror is easily shaping up to be one to watch, and easily worthy of a full indie stop, provided we see a full launch soon that doesn't completely overhaul the game.